Good morning. And may the 4th be with you. Welcome to the Keene Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Deb McClay, and I have been a member of the crew here since 1999. In that time, I have steered the membership, traveled on the worship, and have visited the galaxy of religious exploration, the world of nominating, and am currently a bot on the bot. Board of Trustees. Anyway, okay. We are glad to have you here today, whether you have traveled from a galaxy far, far away, or if this city and church has been your home planet for many star dates. If you are new today, you are especially welcome. We ask that you sign the guest book in the front of the sanctuary and join us for coffee hour, which will be held after service in the parish hall across the way. We have also appointed an ambassador to welcome newcomers and answer any questions you may have. Today, that person is Gwen Powers. Gwen, would you stand up? We welcome all young Padawans and the sounds they make. Your communication devices, however, are better appreciated when set to silent mode. Now we invite you to enjoy this hour of worship. May you find something here that speaks to your inner Jedi and encourages you to travel here at warp speed again.
Science fiction is a reflection of our culture. This is true of all art forms. It is an ongoing process that helps us to reflect upon the world we live in. Any society without art is a dead one. Science fiction creates a sense of wonder with the universe. A science fiction fan can never be bored with the world. Science fiction forces us to think about the future. This, in my opinion, is its most important function. In a nutshell, sci-fi readers are thinking about the future. What could be more important? Some of those futures we'd like to avoid. Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, describing a future where knowledge is so feared that all books are burned, is an eternal warning against tyranny and ignorance. The Drowned World by J.G. Ballard infuses in the reader a determination not to let the world's environment be destroyed. Stanislaw Lem's The Futurological Congress examines the frightening probability that science will evolve to the point where governments can control people's perceptions of reality. Science fiction takes the lessons of history and creatively projects them into the future, usually, to allow us to examine the consequences of our actions today. As an art form, it does so by combining ideas with human or alien psychology to show us the very real consequences of a changed society. We can feel it and we respond to it. It is no accident that science fiction readers are also usually environmentalists, for example. They want a better future and they want to start creating it today.
First off, anyone familiar with Doctor Who will not be surprised that it's 11 who caused the problem. Okay, and I would like to call Bob and Carol Hill forward to light our chalice and invite you all to join me in reading the chalice lighting words which were spoken by Princess Leia in Star Wars. We all share the hope that this day brings us closer to freedom and to harmony and to peace. No matter how different we appear, we are all the same in our struggle against the powers of evil and darkness. Now I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit and sing number 1064 in our teal hymnal, Blue Boat Home, which I included today as the Doctor does travel in their Blue Boat Home across the wide universe with their ship's companion.
Oh, below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been trailing on the Arville. Never harder or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Good morning. The story I'm going to read today is adapted a little bit from an Oliver Jeffers book called The Way Back Home. The library said they had it, but then apparently something happened. So, once there was a boy, just an ordinary boy, but one day something quite extraordinary happened to him. While exploring his house, like you do, he discovered a plane in his closet. Yes, a real plane. And without any hesitation, he decided to take it out for a flight. Up, up into the sky he flew, higher than the clouds, higher than the birds, and farther than he had ever gone before. But as he soared through the great blue sky, something unexpected happened. the plane began to sputter and slow down, he forgot to check if there was enough fuel. Down, down, down the boy drifted until, thump, he landed on the moon. He was all alone. It was quiet, and he didn't know quite what to do. But he wasn't alone for long. You see, someone else was having a bit of trouble too. A small alien had been flying his spaceship when it broke down mid-flight. And guess where he landed? That's right, the other side of the moon. At first, the boy and the alien were both frightened of one another, but after a moment, they realized that they were both stuck in the same place, in the same situation, and more than that, they could help each other. The boy had an idea. He would go back to Earth and get tools and fuel. But how? His plane was on the moon, and so was he. Then he remembered he had rope. So together, the boy and the alien worked as a team, and they lowered the boy down to Earth with the rope. It was a long way, but he made it. He ran home and got a wrench for the alien, and he filled bottles of fuel for his plane. He hurried back, climbed up the rope, and returned to the moon. The boy fixed the alien spaceship. The alien helped refuel the boy's plane, and when everything was ready, they said goodbye. Two new friends from two different worlds had helped each other in the middle of space. And then, zoom, the alien flew back to the stars, and the boy, he flew back home. But sometimes, late at night, when the sky is clear and the stars are bright, he looks up at the moon and wonders if his friend is looking back. Your order of service says we're going to go do Joys of Concerns next. We are not. We are going to sing the children out.
Now it's time to come together as a community and share our joys and concerns. If you have a joyous bit of news or a pressing concern to share, please line up on the sides of the sanctuary, and I will call you up one by one to briefly share and then place a stone in the water. I will then ask if anyone wishes to share but would like the microphone brought to them at their seat. Once everyone has had a chance to share, I will place one last stone in the water for those joys and concerns that are left unspoken.
I am Carl Jacobs. For the last few months now, I've just been joyful that this building and this congregation have stood as a beacon for truth, love, and caring for a long time. It's partly the people, but it's also the building, that I have this place that I know I can come here and be welcomed, and that's what's been happening in this place. I feel that energy from all that time and all those people. I feel that here in this place. So that's my joy.
I have a joy today. My son Ron has a serious girlfriend that he's been dating since the beginning of September, and she and I went to dinner last week, and she pays more attention to me than my own son does. But anyway, I just love her, and we had such a good time. We talked and talked for an hour and 45 minutes, so I really think this is the one. Fingers crossed. Her name is Bella.
Good morning, I'm Lindsay Bartlett, very proud to be a member of this church, and I kind of wanted to piggyback on what Carl said, and that's that, you know, yesterday I spent a wonderful day here, and when I woke up in the morning, I felt so tired and so drained. It was like, how can now I'm volunteering at the church again. And I walked in and I'm like, I can only give like 20%. I'm not doing any hard work today. And something transformed. The universe sent me like this, and I spent the whole day like just being a steward of this building because it made me feel good. I was in my happy place all day yesterday, and I am so proud to be part of this community. And when I see people working so hard, all those odds and ends that we think about, you know, we're all stewards, you know, and you see somebody that looks a little array, maybe it's just a piece of tape on the wall, pull it off. Like, we all have an opportunity. It doesn't mean that we can come and volunteer. I'm very grateful that I can do that right now, but there was many years when I didn't do that. I had children and all the others. So I just want to say thank you all for I can't say anymore. I'm so joyful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gwen. My joy is that a few weeks ago, I went up to Essex, where my sister lives, and my nieces and their father. Sorry, that sounded weird. But I got to see them for the first time in a really long time, and my niece was in a musical, and she did a great job, and I'm really proud of her.
So, hi, I'm Susie, and I am also wanting to leave a stone of gratitude again for all of the people in this congregation who have worked so very hard to bring us to where we are today and to make us ready for the ordination coming up for Rowan. And I also want to acknowledge Carolina Stave for being the figurehead and the person to help us, to put us in a place where, you know, those of us who don't know what to do could show up and say, sure, I can paint that, you know. So it really does take a village in all of our lives to be able to bring us to where we are today. And I'm so very grateful for all of you, and thank you.
Hi, I'm going to put in a stone of gratitude for Sue Hay. Many of you have known Sue. She's been coming to this church off and on for many, many years. Sue was the originator of the community breakfast, after which Carol took over in running it and developing it. Sue is also extremely involved in the immigrant and asylum seeker community here in Keene. She has spent her life in community service, and I'm most grateful for her. However, Sue has developed terminal brain cancer, and she's hoping to live a year, but you don't know. She will be having some treatment, but she may opt to stop the treatment if it interferes with her quality of life. This is very sad news. She's 72. She's at peace with the diagnosis because I'm sure she knows that she has led a very full and giving life. And so if any of you wish to reach out by sending cards and gratitude for her wonderful life, please please do that.
Good morning, I'm Tom. After that news about Sue Hay, thank you for sharing that, I want to tell you about a joy that I had yesterday of with people who will be taking forward the work that Susan has been doing over the years. I participated yesterday at the Peterborough Unitarian Universalist Church in Unitarian Universalist Action, New Hampshire. They had an event where they had tables, people from all over the state doing social justice action work. Climate change, immigrant and refugee work, voting rights, LGBTQ rights, democracy, equity, and justice work. These are really important people in our state, and UU Action New Hampshire is an important part of our church that is doing really good work. So I'm going to be putting up some flyers on the bulletin boards, and I expect that you'll be hearing more about UU Action New Hampshire in our messenger and other communication methods. A joy for them.
Hello, my name is Dan, and my joy is to see my neighbor, Susan, the minister at our congregational church in Fitzwilliam, Pennsylvania, here this morning. That church does a tremendous amount of good in our little town of Fitzwilliam. We particularly enjoy going to the monthly lunches there that provide meals not only to the people in town in general, but people who need the help. And the church does many other things in our little community, so we really appreciate it, even though we're Unitarians, Congregationalists are pretty close. So thank you, Susan.
I have two joys. I'm Mary, and I have two joys to share this morning. The first is, maybe it was only 10 days ago, we hosted Building Beloved Community Beyond the Binary. And it was really, it's a conference that was held out of live in Syracuse, New York, and for the first time, satellites around the country were happening, and one of them was here. I think it was 37 satellites, so really scaling the impact. We had 10 people during the day who came in and out. And this is all part of our reaffirming our commitment to being a welcoming congregation. So already we're saying, and next year, so we'll get the date to you for, and next year. And I particularly want to name that Carolina and Stella were really the two who were behind the scenes making this happen. So deep gratitude for that. And gratitude for so many of you in the pews today who have already volunteered to help at the ordination. And the reminder that I still have the spreadsheet to fill out. There are more opportunities, and I know, and I'll express gratitude already, for those who are going to swamp me today saying, oh, I missed you last Sunday. What can I do? And I'll have an answer for that question. So, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Susan, and I'm a visitor, and I want to say thank you for the warm welcome. But my real joy is a joy of gratitude and connection. Normally on a Sunday morning, I would be working, and I'm on vacation. So instead of being pastoring at the Fitzwilliam Church, I'm doing my busman's holiday, and I'm here to see how they do things at the UU Church. And it's hard to explain how nourishing it is to have connections that go to other faith communities beyond my own. So I'm here because our dear friend Tom is the organizer for the Monadnock Interfaith Project, and I'll let you in on a secret that's not a secret. Sometimes pastoring can be kind of lonely, and so to have that connection with my interfaith colleagues has just been fantastic, and people are doing fantastic work in this city and fantastic work in this region, and it really lifts my heart. And the other thing that's interesting about Connection is that I moved here 2 years ago to start my job, and I live only next door. I'm in the apartments that's in the old school building, and the other thing that's interesting is that when I read the news that Rowan was going to be your minister, I sort of exploded out of the top of my head. Rowan and I were colleagues. We did our chaplaincy internship together at Hebrew Senior Life, and we were there the semester that COVID hit. So we had a really strange and deep experience together. And I'm so overjoyed that she's going to be your pastor. She's someone I love dearly, and so I just feel all these connections, and I wanted to share them with you, and I have a lot of gratitude. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barbara. I just had to jump in with the connection theme because in the last few weeks, I've gotten to visit 2 different UU churches. One down in Arlington, Virginia, which I believe is the Butcher's Other Home Church, and they were just different experiences. This is a gorgeous, gigantic, modern building with a huge playground and a massive RE program and an incredibly diverse community, including age. And, you know, there are different languages being spoken. I was there for Easter Sunday. One of the teens showed up in a full bunny costume to take the kids out for the Easter egg hunt. And it was really a joy to be there. And then last weekend, Tom and I were in Middlebury, Vermont, with a very different UU experience. Tiny little gorgeous stone and wood church with a very active, lively, small congregation, a little more like ours, but even smaller. And their service was lay-led because they only have a minister one time out of every 4 weeks. And it was on social justice protest music. So, you know, we chimed right in. But we are everywhere with our faith and connecting with other faiths. It's really encouraging at this time right now.
Is there anyone who wishes to share and needs the microphone brought to them? Please just raise your hand. Okay. I will now place one last stone in the water for those joys and concerns that are left unspoken. Today's plate will be going to the Multicultural Center, and to tell us more about that, I would like to introduce Gail Summers, who is the founder.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Gail, and I am so grateful to be standing in this space this morning. I more than anything else, want to share my gratitude on behalf of my family and our local immigrant community. We're so grateful that you have done what you have done to reach into the community and invite us in. And if you're not fully up to speed, there's a small space downstairs that is serving the community as a multicultural community space. And we have a very robust English as a second language class on Thursday nights, ranging anywhere from 2 students to 12 students. If you add in the little ones that come with mom to class, you're talking about maybe 20 or so, including 2 brand new infant girls. And every time I walk in and I see the dedication from these family members that come in, that know how important it is for them to, learn this language of their new home so that they can support their families, get jobs, and support their little ones. I'm amazed how many of these family members have school-age kids between grade 1 and grade 5 in our elementary schools. And as we know, kids tend to be faster learners, so often mom nudges the little one, finish my sentence for me. But in these times that we're in, and to align with your theme for today, there's so much we need to keep that Jedi order going and to counter the Sith, if you may. And we are a new organization. There's so much that we need to do, and there's so much needs in the community. I'm amazed as an immigrant myself how many immigrant families are in our communities that I didn't know about, and you're amazed how many people, I would say, live in the shadows. And we are in really, really, really trying times. And I myself, who have lived in the US for over 30 years, I am a US citizen, my kids are US citizen. I'm scared, and I don't even know why I'm scared. I know I'm not going to be pulled over. I believe, that I'm not going to be deported, but it's such a fearful time, and it also awakens in me old fears that I didn't even know I had. So it's really tough for families. Some families are really trying to even go further under the radar. So as a new organization too, we are sensitive to that. Not all the families want to come out. Not all the families want to gather. We have been doing some work to go into the family homes, do a little bit of language classes with the moms, running errands, helping them through this time. But I'm grateful for you. We will need you more. We need your support now more than ever. And we really don't know what's going to happen next. On our radar right now is we have about 26 to 28 individuals, about 5 families or so in our communities that are just from Haiti and are here on the Haitian TPS program. And as of now, that program is slated to end in August. And what will that mean for those families? They're all contributing citizens, they're employees at different businesses locally. What will that mean for those businesses who are already stretched thin trying to find staff and employees? So I don't know what's going to happen to our community, but I'm so grateful for groups and congregation and friends like yourself. I do want to give a strong shout out to Tina. Tina Stevens, she has been wonderful. So thank you for blessing us with Tina. And I ask for your continued support and patience and just wrap your arms around us even from a distance, because we need all of that support. Thank you.
Now please join me in reading the dedication to our offering. We dedicate these gifts in service of our mission to actively create compassionate community and to work for a fair and peaceful world.
Does everybody have their lightsabers? Those aren't lifesavers. This is a lightsaber. Among Star Wars aficionados, May 4th is recognized as a special day. This May the 4th invocation was written by Tori Jameson with help from Earl Rogers, Kevin Mann, and Sin Burnell. I will read the italicized portions, and you will kindly respond with what is written in bold as we celebrate the characters of this beloved franchise and the values they represent. We also invite you to use the lightsabers that were handed out before the reading. May the Force be with you.
And also with you.
Lift up your lightsabers. We lift them up. We cast away the spirit of Jar Jar, bringer of mindless chatter and unnecessary anecdotes. We call forth the spirit of Obi-Wan Kenobi, patient teacher and speaker of riddles.
Come, spirit of Obi-Wan Kenobi, come.
We call forth the spirit of Yoda, ancient teacher of wisdom.
Come, spirit of Yoda, come.
We call forth the spirit of Padme, strong and fierce leader of nations and mother. We call forth the spirit of Han Solo, determined friend and defier of odds.
Come, spirit of Han Solo, come.
We call forth the spirit of R2-D2, humble in service and great of heart.
Come, spirit of R2-D2, come.
The Force is truly with us. In a sign of community and mutuality, let us share a sign of the Force with one another.
One of the things I love about Unitarian Universalism is our open source concept. I have always appreciated that we are not only allowed but encouraged to draw from multiple sources as part of our spiritual journey. This is very useful if, like me, you were raised atheist and did not learn from religious texts. And I'm a nerd. I do not try to hide that fact. I have always enjoyed science fiction shows and movies, and though sometimes I do watch them purely for the escapism of starship flights, time travel, and green aliens with unique grammar. As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate how those stories have shaped who I am as a person. Because if you look beyond the special effects, prosthetic makeup, and impossible scenarios, there are lessons to be learned, and even a few good examples of the Unitarian Universalist principles. Sometimes Gene Roddenberry can be as profound as any prophet. A few years ago, I rewatched a couple seasons of a childhood favorite show of mine, Star Trek: The Next Generation. One of the most popular characters on that show is Data, an android who serves as science officer under Captain Picard. Over the course of the series, Data begins to develop more and more sentience. Though he cannot actually become human, he develops emotions and desires. He even develops a love of Sherlock Holmes stories, a choice I personally can agree with. If I had access to a holodeck, I would follow Data's example of acting out Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's mysteries. Side note, Holmes as Data's favorite fictional character is also an excellent choice considering, as it was pointed out to me, while Data is a machine who wishes to be human, Sherlock Holmes is a human who wishes to be the perfect logic machine. As Data grows over the series, the question of his personhood is a major topic, and dealt with quite directly in the episode The Measure of a Man. In this episode, a visiting robotics specialist wishes to disassemble Data to better understand how he is made and to possibly make more androids like him. Though Data does not wish to submit to the procedure, the rules of Starfleet see him as property, no more sentient than a toaster. He is given the choice of either submitting to the procedure or resigning from Starfleet. On Data's behalf, and with the full support of the regular Enterprise crew, Captain Picard challenges that law. Over the course of the trial, Data's personal effects are entered into evidence. This includes Data's military medals, a book of Sherlock Holmes stories, and a picture of Tasha Yar, who Data had had a romantic relationship with. These items have sentimental value but no practical use, and are things that no non-sentient being would bother keeping. Over the course of the episode, what it means to be human is debated and discussed. It is decided that Data has the same rights as every other member of the Enterprise crew, and he is allowed to refuse the disassembly and remain on the ship. This episode struck me as a perfect example of the first Unitarian Universalist principle, as it seems to me that what they are arguing in this episode is, in fact, Data's inherent worth and dignity. Another great example of a life lesson that can be learned from a science fiction story is from the BBC show Orphan Black. This show focuses on a group of women who grew up not knowing that they are the result of a cloning experiment created as the ultimate test of nature versus nurture, and how they come together as adults to work for the group's common good while maintaining and celebrating their individuality. One of the clones, named Helena, was actually raised by an extremist group to hunt her fellow clones. Over the course of the show's 5 seasons, Helena learns the error in what she was taught and becomes not only a valued member of the clone family, but a loving mother to twins she gives birth to. As the series goes on and Helena begins to learn, the audience begins to root for her and become connected to her story. Her adventures teach the viewer that you are not what others make you into or tell you to be. You are able to choose your own path and make your own life, and have who you decide in that life. In fact, Helena's journey can be seen as a good example of the 4th UU principle, as Helena is clearly embarking on her own search for truth and meaning. Another show that is very big in nerd culture is Doctor Who. This show is about time travel that has been running for over 60 years and has featured more than 15 different actors and actresses in the title role in some capacity. Though there are many lessons and examples I could pull from this show, I'll focus on the 2-episode story arc from The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. In these episodes, the Doctor discovers that a drilling expedition has woken a race of human-like reptiles known as Silurians, who lived on Earth over 300 million years ago, but went to hibernate underground to avoid an apocalypse they thought was coming. The Doctor is then faced with an interesting situation where he is dealing with 2 races, the Silurians and the human race, who both have legitimate claims to the planet. In a perfect example of the democratic process, the 5th UU principle, the Doctor makes representatives of the 2 races sit down and begin to work out a deal. In exchange for space in areas humans can't live, the Sahara Desert, the Australian outback, other similar places, the Silurians will provide humanity with new technology and scientific advances. Unfortunately, one of the humans still on the surface of the planet sees the Silurians as nothing but an other, and accidentally kills a Silurian in an effort to save her father, who the Silurian had poisoned in an instinctive act to protect themselves. Negotiations break apart, and the Doctor has to force the Silurians back into hibernation for another 1,000 years. As disappointing as this is, there is a better lesson to be gained from the lack of happy ending. Humanity is given that millennia to work past their prejudices, selfishness, and tendency towards violence, possibly leading the viewer to consider those traits in the real world. And maybe that is the beauty of sci-fi, the ability it gives us to see the flaws in our society, maybe even ourselves, without the lesson hitting too close to home. In preparing to lead this service again after almost 7 years, I rewatched some of the stories that I just shared with you. What struck me is how they all still brought up the same feelings in me and how they were still relevant and can continue to be relevant in the future. The rise of AI and robotics could very well have us debating the humanity of our own datas someday. As more and more people find their own spiritual paths rather than staying in the churches of their families, Helena's story will resonate with more and more people, though hopefully in a far less extreme scenario. But things have changed in the last almost decade too. How we watch these stories has evolved. Streaming services allow us to watch TV shows and movies that speak to us over and over again, wherever we are at a moment's notice. We are able to share these stories with incredible ease. How many times have you yourself said, "Oh, you would love this movie. You have Netflix, right?" Short clips of television and movies are even posted to social media, allowing us to even more directly share specific moments with everyone who visits our feeds. So I want to conclude this all by saying, next time someone has an interest in something you might consider not your thing, try listening to what they have to say. For in hearing about stories that affect them, you will learn what they value and maybe even a little something about the world. And trust me, as anyone who knows me will tell you, we nerds are more than happy to share the stories we love. And I would like to call Bob and Carol Hill forward to extinguish our chalice. Please join me in the words that are printed in the order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again. For our closing words, I chose part of a speech from Doctor Who. A tradition when the actor playing the Doctor leaves is for that actor to give a speech that is both in character and out of character, that allows both the regeneration of the Doctor and the actor to say goodbye. This speech was given by Peter Capaldi, who played the 12th Doctor and is from his final episode, Twice Upon a Time, and was written by Stephen Moffat with bits added by Capaldi. Never be cruel, never be cowardly, and never ever eat pears. Remember, hate is always foolish and love is always wise. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. Laugh long, run hard. And may it be so as we go forward. Until we are together again, live long and prosper.